It is 21 minutes past 9 on a Saturday morning. SmackDown has only finished a matter of hours ago, and we are already set up and ready to go. Because when The Rock cuts nothing short of an electrifying heel promo on SmackDown, there is nothing better to do than get that camera, get that microphone, and get to step into it. Welcome to another episode on Faz Wrestling. We are reviewing last night's Friday Night SmackDown. Once again, I am joined by my good friend, Pete Pistols Blacksoul. Pete, how are you on this wonderful Saturday morning?
I'm so good. I'm ready. I've woken up. I've had a shower. I've had a wank. Everything is ready to go. I am guns a-blazing.
This is it. We are starting Saturdays right. I've just got a nice standard hot chocolate and watch SmackDown. But apart from that, I am ready to go. We are recording. It was held in Salt Lake City, Utah, which is very relevant when we're going to talk how we open about this.
It is the capital state of the Mormons. It's where what's he called? Something Jones, David Jones, John Jones, whatever. Not John Jones. That's the UFC wrestler. But it's where the founding member of the Mormon belief came from, and that is why Salt Lake City is the Mormon city.
Well, I really love that you made that reference because I noticed in the stands that somebody held up a sign saying Mormon Reigns, and I didn't get it.
It was right.
Now makes sense.
Salt Lake City, Utah is where the Mormon belief was created. Let's say made up. And so that is where that's what that would do. All the, especially when The Rock said stuff like your 50 wives. That's the Mormon belief. You can have so many wives, and but that's Salt Lake. Salt Lake City, Nevada, Utah, not Nevada, is the home of the Mormons.
Literally. So that, I mean, yeah, that all ties in wonderfully to a lot of, like you said, a lot of the references that were made.
Oh, brilliant.
Without a shadow of a doubt, we are opening this podcast with that ending segment, how they close the show off. I mean, I don't even know where to begin on how good that was. I think we will begin with the standard boring stuff of the segment where Roman Reigns comes out. It takes, 4 to 5 minutes from his music starting to him getting in the ring.
Just clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking because it's done with now. Like the entire waiting, and like I enjoyed it at first, and like obviously you've got the big 3D image of him doing acknowledge me and all that, and I can do without it now because nothing's ever changed ever since like the one time LA Knight ignored him like 3 months ago on his walk down. He interrupted him, which was awesome. Nothing's changed since then. So it's just skip.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Whereas I'm the complete opposite. I will still enjoy every second of that because I just love it. I think it's brilliant. Even though it's stale, it is more of the same. I still fucking love it. I'll still sit there in my room and give the ones to the sky when he holds that title in the air. You better fucking believe it. Absolutely what happens. I love it. So we wait all that time for Reigns to come into the ring. Reigns comes in the ring. Salt Lake City, acknowledge me. Yep, standard, as we fucking do. He then basically goes on about saying about how tonight is history. They're making history tonight. Yada, 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 yada. Cody chants break out. And he's like, yeah, Cody's the one that tried to ruin it all. Like, yeah, you've spoiled everything. Like, makes a little reference to that. He then says, tonight is going to be history because The Rock is officially joining the bloodline. If you smell, straight away, Rock's music hits to an absolute enormous pop, which I was very surprised about. I was hoping there would be some boos and cheers in there. Nah. If that music hits, I feel you're always going to be fucking popping to that.
The way I see it is, imagine if The Rock made an appearance. This is basically how it goes. Imagine if The Rock made an appearance at Vatican City.
Mm-hmm.
So the headquarters, the home of Catholicism, and The Rock comes out. Imagine if The Rock came out rather than the Pope. It's like on the balcony, and he goes, literally they're all there. There's the millions, and they're all there, and they're waiting, and literally, that's so cold, but you know what I mean. Like if you smell, and he comes out on that balcony and just
His sunglasses on, giving him the sign of the cross.
Imagine the pop. Imagine the pop that he would get from the Catholic crowd. Like they would be like, "Oh my god! Like, oh, this is awesome!"
We came for the Pope and we got the Rock.
That's basically kind of, but not what happened in Salt Lake because no, it is because like they're expecting the Rock, they know the Rock, but it's the home of a major religion, and if you're gonna believe in those cool, probably true, wacky stories, then you're gonna love the Rock. Like you're just gonna love him. Like so he came to that massive pop. What was he wearing?
Well, this again was something that I jotted down in my notes whilst watching it, where obviously I noticed he was wearing a jacket that looked rather retro, let's say, and I kind of seen it and I thought, that's got to have some sort of meaning, resemblance. It's got to have a purpose.
What do you notes say? What do your notes say?
I mean, my notes say Rock's wearing a retro jacket. Not sure why. Pete will definitely know. So, in brackets, reference Pete. So, Pete, this is your chance. This is your time to shine, my friend. Why did Rock come out wearing said retro jacket?
It was a shout to just after the Nation of Domination, like when he was hated, but after he broke apart from them and became the Intercontinental title holder, it became like a proper. I think he was Intercontinental whilst he was in the Nation of Domination actually, but he always used to wear that yellow and it was a silk shirt, I think it was, but it was always yellow and black, and it was heel Rock. Rocky sucks chants everywhere, and it was finally they've embraced it. They've gone full heel with the Rock, and that was the first time. I'm skipping ahead a tiny bit, but we'll come back. That's the first time the Rock has been on the microphone in about 15, 20 years. Because it's always been, even during his whole thing with Cena, it was Dwayne Johnson and Cena. That was the Rock. That was, it was so good. But yeah, he comes out in that, and I don't understand the tiger reference on the back because there's no tigers in Samoa.
Yeah, see, I kind of thought it'd be like the bull, like the Brahma bull. You know what I mean? I thought that would have been a really nice little touch to whack on the back of that. But
bulls aren't yellow, Kieran.
Well, there's a lot of things we can nitpick with, can't we? But it would have had relevance to the Rock's character, whereas it was just, I mean, maybe that was just the design of it.
I have a Google search on my phone this morning saying Tigers Samoa ? And nothing came up.
Well, tigers are orange, aren't they? And he was wearing a yellow jacket. Since you've just pulled me up on colours and animals.
And you say that I don't do my research.
Exactly that. But he then comes out, obviously wearing that, comes down to the ring. And do you know what? In the first 30 seconds, I knew this was going to be fucking gold. Because he comes out and it's like, you two, we've made history. All you guys in this arena, we've made history together. Like, people at home, all this. There's this history, like, you know, really going on about it, really bigging up. The crowd going fucking nuts, popping like there's no tomorrow. And I believe his exact quote was, you broke the records for having the highest amount of trailer park trash in one arena at the same time. And I just went, oh, yes. It's literally, totally agree with what you're saying. That this was the Rock. This wasn't none of that Dwayne Johnson fucking kiddie stuff, making people laugh with like little jokes and stuff like that. This was full blown, bringing the aura and the classic of the Rock that we all fell in love with. So good.
Can I just say, quickly come in and like his third to last appearance was with Jinder Mahal about the head of the table and stuff like that when he wanted to get over as a face, but he couldn't have been the Rock in that ring with Jinder Mahal because they would have been sued.
Yes, you know. I mean, again, some of the Rock, he must have made inbred references at least 6 or 7 times during this. What I'd say 8 to 10 minutes promo that he cut.
Yeah, the line, "Shut up, fatty! I'll come over there and slap the hairpiece off your face." It's just the Rock calling anyone fatty. He's just one of the funniest things in the world.
It was one of those promos where he can't, like, even when he said it, like he mentioned, you said it before as well, where it's like, oh, you guys with your 50 wives, and he was like, inbred this, incest that, and the first one I kind of sat there was like, that's a bit risky, innit? Like 2024, back in attitude area, that's fine, you got away with everything. Just ask Vince.
And then really quickly, WWE had the gall to bleep out bitches. So, you sons of bitches, they bleep that out. Believe the rest in about the herpes and the inbred and the trashing of religion. Just leave that in. That's fine.
Incredible. It's just incredible, isn't it? Like, because, and again, I don't think I'll put my neck on the line. I don't think there's anybody else that would have got away with that. I think because it's The Rock can just do it. Anyone else just gets in shit. Would get in shit for that.
He literally said it last week. We do what we want when we want.
Yeah, it was. It was just backing up that sort of thing, wasn't it?
Also, how much does Roman Reigns look like a little brother?
Doesn't he just? Like, it's crazy. Like, Rock was going absolutely off on one. He's delivering left, right, and center. Like, it was. What's the word? Like the intensity was there all promo long. You know what I mean?
God, like literally, like Jimmy was fangirling out.
Wasn't he just? I noticed that so many times. It was like there's one point, wasn't there? Go on.
Credit to Solo because he did his thing the entire way through.
See, I love that.
That was really cool. But Jimmy got the freedom to just fangirl like he was so giddy to be there.
Yeah.
But when was the last time that like Roman was in the ring with someone and obviously took a step back and let himself be overshadowed, and then literally he was like a non-entity in that ring.
No.
Once he stopped talking, he was like he wasn't there. Even Paul Heyman was just staring at The Rock, looking with those "I'll suck you off" eyes. It was just.
I mean, it's absolutely that. I think obviously at this point you needed that because it was like this was like it all cemented together now. You know what I mean? As in, Rock is heel. There's no denying that. There's no turning back on that. He is alongside. He's involved. He is part of the bloodline. That's all secured. So I think Roman is taking that step back. Like, if you think it's not uncommon for Roman to do that, like I remember, well, we all remember a famous segment with Sami Zayn. With Sami Zayn and Jey Uso when they're in the ring and they're settling their differences, and obviously they're arguing back and forth, and Reigns is stood at the front of the ring, head down. He's not said a word. He's just letting them do what they've got to do.
My argument before you carry on, I know exactly what you're saying, but I'm not going to ruin it for you. But in that moment, you're like, oh, Reigns is the boss. He's there. He's got his head down. He's like, literally, everyone's hanging on. If he puts his head up, which he does, but I'll let you go for it, like, everyone goes, oh, shit. But people weren't looking at Reigns. They were looking at The Rock in this segment. All eyes were on The Rock, and everyone was like, oh, Rock is the boss now. That's it. He is.
Ross is. Hey. Hey. I'm fine.
Fine. Ding. I don't even know what that's for.
Pivot. I said pivot.
My sandwich.
Oh, fantastic.
Friends,
we have managed to segue onto Friends. I am absolutely for that. But that's. I mean, I agree that Roman, he has since his involvement with The Rock, Reigns has looked secondary, which I think is that for a reason? Is that how this is all gonna blow up between them? I think they are. I think these are the little nuggets. This is what WWE like to do, is they like to kind of have these little segments where things happen, and then in about 3 months, 4 months time, Reigns is going to go, listen, Rock tried taking over, Rock tried doing this, and they'll just pick snippets out of these clips where it's all happening and make this absolute phenomenal video package to justify what they're trying to say. Like, but again, I think Reigns winning, being the tribal chief, also, I can see the other side of it, of him being like, listen, I'm running things, but yeah, you go, you do your thing, you say what you've got to say, you do all that, but ultimately, I'm making the calls here. Like,
I think their story is going to completely go. I think Cody. Obviously, we think Cody's going to finish his story, which is like the if he doesn't, it'd be uproar, and he's got to. You don't have to pray to that imaginary fake Mormon god. It's he's he's gonna. But I think now they're trying to get an extra segment because I can't see Roman Reigns being in. I don't know what he's gonna do. To be fair, like I can't see him staying in WWE because he's been there so. You can't see him coming in week out. After this reign, you cannot see him coming in like into the company every single week.
no, he's not. Well, he's not already. He's already not on that. He's already on your legend contract.
If he loses a title, so I think they're setting up for a bloodline final boss kind of thing. That's going to be a separate story, which everyone thought it'd be at WrestleMania, which we said would be rushed if it was The Rock. I know obviously we were really butthurt about Cody and everything, but we thought it'd be rushed completely if it was The Rock and Roman at this WrestleMania when you've got so much more to tell. Like you could literally have that. The title doesn't have to be involved.
No,
the bloodline itself is a title.
Yeah,
like
that.
I think that's where they're going with that. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's it. That is the full circle. I think that is the biggest debate that it has all been, where it's like essentially it's Rock and Reigns for Tribal Chief Supremacy, like for the title of that.
Yeah,
and people were getting upset because they're like, they don't need to have the championship involved. No title belt is needed. That is a main event guaranteed seller on its own without a title, and it means that somebody else can have the title opportunity and have that title storyline.
Matches then, and it's like if you have that, it's like that's gonna sway the outcome because it's like, well, The Rock's not gonna win the title, like it's pointless.
Yeah,
it's like Reigns is gonna keep the title again. The championship does not need to be in there at all. Like you could sell that. Doesn't have to be a championship match. You could sell that as the headline of WrestleMania 41 after a year of storytelling. Neither of them showing up for half the year, and you could still do that as one of the headline matches at the next WrestleMania.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it'll be a SummerSlam match because the SummerSlam match is The Rock's match. It always has been. But yeah, I mean, it just seemed stupid what they were doing. Like, it just seemed bizarre.
Yeah, no, 100%. I completely agree. I can absolutely see it being at next year's WrestleMania. Would The Rock have the availability in a year's time? I don't know. But the thing that works about that is because they're both part-time, you can stretch a storyline for 12 months because neither of them are on there week in, week out. So it relieves so much pressure. They could pick it up at next year's Rumble and make it work.
It looks so much better as well than having someone like Cody who is he's on Raw, he's on SmackDown, he sometimes goes on NXT. He's there week in, week out because he wants to do it. He doesn't care about the contract or anything like that. He wants to be there because he's obviously an egomaniac, but he's so good with it. Why have him against someone who's there like three times every 4 months? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. So it's like you have someone like The Rock and Roman. You've just literally clicked something in my brain here, Kieran, just by talking. You have The Rock and Roman. They don't want to be there. Like The Rock's going to be, if he goes to the TKO board of directors, which is what the whole thing is. I've heard that, which I mentioned last time, that if he does that, they want him to perform X amount of matches. I don't know if that's like a sign-on thing, like you do it once, or if it's year in, year out, or what. But that'd be perfect for him and Roman. Neither of them are there, and then when they're there, it's like, oh, they're both there. It's awesome. It's mint.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It matters. It will sell tickets. If you're telling me, obviously, like, won't happen, but if you're telling me there's a fucking Friday Night SmackDown or a Monday Night Raw in Manchester at fucking MEN and Rock and Roman are going to be there,
sold out,
mate, I'm paying anything. You know what I mean? I'm paying any money and I'm going there because of the names.
Me and Beck went to Blink 182 and that was sold out within, I think, 5 to 10 minutes at the MEN. It was a great gig. It was awesome. But a minute max. You look at AEW All Out, all in. Last year, I'm going to this one this year at Wembley. But last year it was sold out within, I think, fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, Money in the Bank. The Money in the Bank that was in London sold out in, I think, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
30 to 45 seconds sold out. I tried to get tickets. I arrived about half an hour after they went on sale, and there was nothing. There was literally like the ones next to the ring that cost like 800 quid, and I was like,
Yeah.
do you think I made of money? I was like, nah. But literally, like,
Me
it
and
sells
Peter
out
friends,
so
but
quickly.
we're not that good of friends.
Like we couldn't even put half in each and share a seat between the pair of us. It's that spenny. You know what I mean? Having you on my lap, pretending you're a puppet. I got no strings to hold me down.
Fucking, you want me on your shoulders wearing a trench coat.
Yeah, Kieran, steps.
What? One ticket, please, sir.
Whoa! And we'd have gone away with 2 if it wasn't for you meddling kids. But as per, we've gone off on our little tangent. But going full circle, point being, if that's how they're going to implode, that's how it's going to obviously, like, you know, go to shit. Having Rock and Reigns, you can stretch that. If you want to do it in a SummerSlam, because Rock has future plans, can't guarantee it, fine. But you can make a storyline. You can stretch it if you have to through their contracts, which is mainly why we're all saying Cody has to win and just have someone week in, week out, being the champ, being there, and making it work, essentially. Like, that's what we need, and hopefully that's the route down, the road that they will go down. But even going back to the segment, I think we've quoted. Have we delved into most of that? Oh no, we haven't. I absolutely there's a couple of parts in this that I fucking love, where he's gone in on the crowd. He's called him inbred. He said the 50 whatever, blah 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 blah, all that shit, and then he goes, finally, and everyone goes. Johnny goes, no. Whereas singing time with The Rock is absolutely over. You Muppets don't get to join in with me or whatever.
No.
Like,
you lost that privilege.
You lost that privilege. Oh, it's just, it's. Do you know what? It's magic. Like, I knew I'd fumbled that, but it's just superb. And then even after that, he's like, "You lost this privilege." And I've just put hates on the crowd, but he started giving them all shit, didn't he? It's like, I can't even remember what the context of it all was. Starts insulting him. Like, I wouldn't waste my time on all you, like, inbred, And then, it then goes, finally, Rock has come back to Salt Lake City. And everyone joined in. I was like, brilliant.
Yeah.
He's done it, told you not to join in, slagged you all off, and still you've gone, yeah, finally, and just joined in anyway. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, God, like,
well,
even
if he came out trying to be a face and be like, finally The Rock has got, and trying to make it what everyone would boo him.
Yeah.
But he's come out as a heel, as he should do, as he is, and he's gone, fine, no, you don't get to play story time with The Rock anymore. And then he does it again, and everyone's like, yes, this is what we want.
Yeah.
We're going to sing along with what we want. It's like, because we're not going to boo you because you're being like, we'll boo you in the context, like when you bring up Cody, we're going to boo you because we all want Cody to win.
Yeah.
It's almost like Triple H has just rewatched the Attitude Era over and over again, and he understands what works and why it works.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said last week, Vince McMahon would just say, "This is what I'm doing. You respect what I'm doing. I'm even behind closed doors." He'd be like, "I'm good." Well, let's not talk about behind closed doors, but. He'd make a decision and he'd be like, "This is what I've said it. This is what's going to happen." Like the Roman Reigns thing. He's your new champion. Like him because he's your new champion.
Love him.
It's like, but Triple H has gone like, "No, we'll just feed off the crowd."
Yeah.
Like literally, what the crowd say goes.
Yeah.
And it works so because that's what made Austin.
Yeah.
Like that's what. Go on.
Yeah, it's the other side to that where it's. What the crowd says goes. It's not always that. It's not like we want this, you get this. It's how they react. It's what they're reacting to. Again, to put that again into a bit of reference, into a bit of context, stuff with LA Knight. The crowd were clamoring for LA Knight. They wanted him to get a title. They wanted him to win. They didn't give him that. You know, they didn't let him win. They didn't let him do these things because the more they were pushing that, the more the crowd were getting behind and rallying. So they're playing on the reactions as well, as opposed to just giving them what they want.
You got to milk those teats.
Exactly.
You got to milk those teats for all they're worth, mate.
Got to get every last fucking drop. Yeah. Stop. No more. No.
No more of that. That's a shot.
And clip. But literally, yeah, the fact that again, totally agree with what you're saying. Triple H, he listens to the crowd. He sees what's reacting. He hears what people are caring or not caring about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and he plays on that completely. But yeah, it was an absolutely unbelievable promo, which then was finished by The Rock, basically saying, it's me and Roman Reigns together. We are the most dominant force. We are the strongest force in sports entertainment, WWE, and they all stand there with the wands in the sky, and it was just chef's kiss.
Well, I'm going to do this. Ignore the noise. I'm just going to do this again because when The Rock's finger was in... I love this desk. It's so cool. When The Rock's finger was in the sky... Right, 1 second. Oh, I look like I'm doing something else there.
Where's he got? Where are you? Hello.
So they all do that. Everyone does that. Except what does The Rock do, Kieran? Shout out to Pistols Pete.
So this is it. So
is there significance? Is there significance behind that? Behind the...
Yeah, it's called everyone losers. Losers. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. It was great because obviously I literally finished SmackDown by all of like 5 minutes tops. Literally, my phone goes off. Oh, look, it's Pete on the phone. Answer the phone. He's like, mate, how good was that? We're like, yeah, we're just vibing back and forth. This is amazing. He goes, but did you notice that The Rock just had his thumb sticking out and it just looked weird? He went, and I was like, hey, maybe he watches the podcast. He's making reference to Pete Pistols Blackstone doing the Pistols, and was like, yep, that's what we're going for. So The Rock watches this.
You heard it.
The Rock watches this. Then you all need to like, comment, subscribe, and share because The Rock's doing it. So why aren't you?
First, The Rock is the biggest fan of Faz Wrestling.
Exactly.
He literally loves it.
Rumor has it he turned heel because we told him to.
Never turns it off, I've heard.
No, actually, to be honest, a little spoiler alert. I did ask about how he got his jacket and where that was from before, but it was a bit of a rhetorical question because I actually had a quick chat with my mum and she lent it to him for the night as a token of goodwill because The Rock follows our channel and loves us. So
your mum, and as we all know, your mum loves tigers. Native to Samoa, as I've heard, tigers are native to Samoa and Scotland. two places that tigers are native to.
Oh, for God's sake. I'm just imagining Moana in fucking Scottish now, so that has taken a twist.
I've gone the other way. I imagine Moana
being... There's no much to
like
say except you're welcome.
Make way! Make way!
For fuck's sake, how do we do this? How do we just tangent away all the time? Honestly, I absolutely love it. But yeah, as a whole, like I said, they close off with the ones in the sky. Some people doing the pistols in the sky. But yeah, that closed that out. Have you got anything? Any more on that?
It's me. It's Maui. You're welcome. Other than that, no. I was working on that in my head. I was just hoping it brought gold to the screen. No, it was awesome. But I cannot be the only one who noticed that. All seriousness, all silliness aside, I cannot be the only one who noticed. Everyone fingers to the sky, and The Rock was like that. And I maybe that's a point to not me. I'm over that. Maybe that's a reference to, I don't know, like in Samoa, if you stick a thumb out, you're going to betray someone. I don't know.
Yeah, do you know what? I love that because you know that you'll go on YouTube and you'll find someone that they will have something like that. Like in Samoan culture, that means that you're going to shaft someone and you're like, okay, fairs. Whatever, you know what I mean? It's like I don't know how true this is, but when I was making reference to that promo before, the Usi promo, that apparently Usi means something different in Samoan. but like it's like calling someone. I can't remember what it is, but it was. What is it now? It basically has a meaning as an insult. Like Us is like, you know, your family, your brother, whatever. Whereas Usyk is like an insult. But obviously Sami Zayn was saying it like that, or it might mean like dick or something like that. Let's just say it means penis for argument's sake. So then, like, Sami Zayn was going up to him saying, "So Jay, do you not feel very penis?" And that's why I'm like, they're just kind of giggling away to it. Like, again, I don't know if there's any truth in that whatsoever, but apparently it means something like that.
I will say one more thing. If we're going down this rabbit hole, jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. Inside job.
Of course, yeah. I was lost. I had no idea where you were going with that one.
Until I came back with inside job.
Can we get the rabbit back out the hole now? Because I don't want to go down it anymore.
Please do.
It's not a rabbit out of a hat. There we go. But yeah, that was the main event. Obviously, that was by a country mile the highlight of the SmackDown. But I don't think anybody is going to tell you otherwise, and if they are, they're deluded. But I thought apart from that aside, I thought it was an okay SmackDown. I didn't think it didn't set the world alight, but I think there was good points, and there was some bits where I have absolutely got 2 lines for certain segments / matches. So I think it was slap bang down the middle. But we opened SmackDown with Kevin Owens against Dominic Mysterio.
Good start.
And it was a very good start, and I really, really liked a reason as to why they opened this. They opened it with KO. Everybody loves KO. Great wrestler, great character. We spoke about him in the past. We could speak about him for a while.
What have we said about KO? What's his... he is every character that you create on your wrestling game. Yeah.
And we witnessed that today because he pulled out majority of those. But before I get into that match...
Not the stunner, which I was really happy with.
Yeah, which was nice. But I really, really loved about this that Dom came out, and he came out with a microphone in his hand. And when he came out, quite literally, I went, that heat that Dom used to get whenever he spoke, and the boos outweighed anything he said. That's kind of gone away for a bit, hasn't it? Because I was like, I've not noticed that. Like they've not played on it. They've not done anything like that for a good few weeks. So I kind of, was like, yeah, I remember that. And then Dom literally goes to say something, and I think he stopped before the boos were that loud. So he really pushed for it. And then after that, I was like, oh no, they're really going for this. They're trying to rile up that crowd and get them fucking going from the off.
That's because he's not been on the mic.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
There's been very few segments with very few. Do you remember it used to be him and Nami all the time?
Yeah.
It's not now. It's all about Damian Priest, and it's all about fucking Finn Balor's lucky to even get a shout in sometimes.
No kidding.
Which is an incredible waste of who Finn Balor is because he's awesome. But yeah, it's like he's not been on the mic for ages, so I think it's kind of like a return to that. And I know I didn't forget it. As soon as he walked out with the mic in his hand, I was like, oh, we're gonna start good. We're gonna start good.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, like I'm not saying I forgot that they do that. I just mean it's not happened for a while. So I was kind of just like, not that, But he really, really played on that. Like, I genuinely think he was taking 5 steps and 3 words every time before he was just getting completely outbooed. And it was brilliant. Like, I loved it. I really, really loved it because it was just a good way to open the show and to get that crowd active from the off. Like, they're normally hot for an opening match segment anyway. But to do that is just fuel to the fire sort of thing. So I loved that. I thought it was really, really good. It was an all right match. It was standard, I think. It was okay. But, and then Truth shows up.
Our main man.
That was literally, it was just, it was one of those where I was watching it and I was like, it's all right. Yeah, it's standard. Like, yeah, kind of like, when's KO going to win? When's KO going to win? There's Ron Killings. Why is he here? And then he starts yapping at KO and I'm like, oh my God, they're carrying on this shtick where he thinks he's the Miz. And I was like, like, I don't like this aspect of it. The other side of Truth, like thinking he's part of the Judgment Day or getting involved in all that, fine. But him just going up to a random dude and saying, "You're the Miz." No, you know the Miz. You've known the Miz for 20 odd years. Stop being so dumb. Like, it's so stupid.
Because but that's the character. He's insane.
I know. I just don't like it.
You're saying that it is, and you understand it, but you don't like it when it is cinematic brilliance. I'll take R-Truth over Roman Reigns any day, and I'll say that until R-Truth is still wrestling in his 80s. Like, I will, when he's doing a Ric Flair and doing body shots of a fucking teenager, like, I will still love R-Truth.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. This isn't a hating on R-Truth parade. I love R-Truth. I just don't like this particular aspect of it because I just think it's a silly aspect. Not a silly aspect because his whole character's fucking silly. It's just, I think they could be a bit more logical with it. Like, even like with the Judgment Day stuff, fair enough, there's a bit of method because he wants to be part of the Judgment Day. But not recognising someone you've known for 20 plus years, all of a sudden you think he's just like a large Canadian man. Is that
what breaks you down into reality, Kieran? There's nothing to do with the wrestling of the storylines or anything like that. It's someone not recognising someone. You would hate Neighbours. The amount of people who get amnesia in Coronation Street, any kind of sitcom, you'd hate it.
You're right, I would. I say this all the time. As long as there's a purpose, a bit of logic behind it, I'm all for it. I've got time for it. But yeah, it had a purpose in the end. Like, all he had to do was come there and just say, "Look, Dom, I've got your back." Like, I'd have accepted that. Like, Judgment Day, you're my boy. That's fine. Rather than him going, "Myth, where were you Monday night? I needed you. You weren't here." And he's like, "What? Shut the fuck up, Truth." And then obviously gets hit. Like,
I loved it. It adds to his insanity, his pure insanity, and you're like, "Oh, yeah, our Truth's not stable." It's brilliant. And then that was you said, "I want you get me the chair." You said I wasn't in the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Get the chair. So Dom's talking to R-Truth going, give me the chair. And he goes, "Give me the chair and you're in the Judgment Day." And he goes, "If I give you the chair, I'm in the Judgment Day." Yeah. And that was probably I was going to say it was the loudest pop of the night so far, but it was the first match. But it was the best bit of the next three matches of him picking up the chair and going, and just sitting on it and going,
yeah.
See,
just to add to that, absolutely, yeah, spot on. Just when you said about the pop, it was one of those pops where it was more like everyone's going, "No, don't do it. Like, it was a different kind of pop. Like, I loved it.
You could see behind him to the right of the announcers table, and there was people. And he was looking at him, and it was like, and the one thing I had in my mind was Panto.
Yeah,
it was Panto. It was literally, he looked around and everyone's going, "No, don't do it. Don't do it." He's going, "Should I do it?" And they're going, "No."
Yeah.
And then finally he just puts it down and it's like, "Yes, go on, Andrew."
Yeah. See, all that part of it, fantastic. Love that dimension.
Just
if you'd have asked me on Monday if that was how that match was going to like pan out, no, I never would have called that in a million years. But I thought it was good. It was effective. It made sense. Yeah. I mean, obviously, inevitably, the minute that Truth sat down on that chair, Dom turned around and then got hit into a pop-up powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. KO gets the win.
Super kick first. Super kick.
Oh, it was a super kick into the pop.
And that was vicious, man. Because he pushed him into the ropes. And I didn't know if one of them thought that they were going to end on the pop-up powerbomb straight away. But he rolled him into the rope. He lariated him into the ropes. And as he was coming back, there was about 3 feet between them. And he managed to extend a super kick to his face. And it looked like it looked damaging. It looked bad. Like, it was good. I mean, good to watch, but it looked like it was, because there was so little space between them. And it just looked like he caught him right at the chin. And then obviously picked him up, lariats him again into the rope for the pop-up powerbomb. This is what I was saying earlier. I was happy that they didn't use a stunner. Like, usually with Kevin Owens, especially in a pay-per-view match, obviously they're going to use all the big matches, all the big moves. But in a lot of SmackDowns, Kevin Owens just seems to do all his skill set. Like against Logan, not against Logan, that one. But he just tends to do all his skill set in every single match, and it's like you're expecting all these things to come after 1, 2. Like, I was happy not to see the stunner. Like, you keep that for special occasions, you keep that for pay-per-views.
Yeah,
like, that's.
I completely agree. Like, KO again is one of the best for that, mainly because, as we've said in the past, his moveset is just ridiculous anyway.
Everyone's
he can only. Yeah, he can literally just snip 2 or 3 specials and it works. But it's like that one that I know we spoke about it not so long ago. The one when he's on the turnbuckle and he reverses the suplex.
Yeah,
I can't remember what they call it. Like fisherman suplex maybe. I can't remember. But he literally gets it and does like a sideways one. Like it's brilliant. That one tends to come out for a big pay-per-view. He will rarely use that on a SmackDown. So again, Stunner's probably in that same bracket. But I completely agree with you. It's good that he doesn't. You don't show your full arsenal on free TV. You know what I mean? You save that for the big ones. Like, absolutely bang on. Then again, it's showing that Elimination Chamber. That men's one looks stacked. Like,
mate, it's
the personnel that are in it.
The most top level in about 4 or 5 years. Easy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, last year's wasn't particularly star-studded, but then that was good because it was giving new people that chance to come up and shine the light. Like because we mentioned it last week, didn't we? We was on about Montez Ford, was on about Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, you know, all those guys. Whereas this one is now, no, big names, big people, you're going in. And I think, again, as we've discussed, that's from a lot of big names who can't make it. So we then had Drew backstage and he was being interviewed, and it was the standard Drew McIntyre kind of thing where he was basically saying that he's going to win the Elimination Chamber. He's going to win the title because he deserves it. He's going to save that. And since that last title was stolen away from, let me talk to you.
Nana!
A Knight interrupted.
Nana!
And instantly, I was watching this and gave out a little ooh because I was like, ooh, we always love an LA Knight promo here and everywhere. I think everybody loves an LA Knight little clip.
I don't think that my love for LA Knight has been pushed so far on this podcast. LA Knight is why I got back into wrestling. It truly is. It just hit, and the way that everyone's going with it, he is the reason. Those old school promo, those just that old style, the rock on the microphone attitude, but stone cold in the ring. He's literally what I've wanted wrestling to be for years, and they've got there. He's finally got his chance. It can't be overstated how much I love LA Knight.
Oh yes, I mean, I'm not quite on your level, but my God, I have got a hell of a lot of time for LA Knight. I just know that it's not as great a love as you have for him, so I won't even try.
That's fair.
But this is it. LA Knight interrupts, and he just comes out. I mean, you'll probably be able to remember the exact quotes better than myself.
I really do.
I mean, go on, you take it away. You tell us how this went down.
It is the usual LA Knight stick, but the best part was when he pulls out the shirt and he goes, you like your little shirt, you've got CM Punk on here, but there's room for another one, DM Hunk. I was like, yes! DM Hunk. Oh, I loved it. I thought it was so good. Like, he's just... even the referees are splitting him apart at the end. He's like, "No, we're just talking. We're just talking." We're
just talking, aren't we? We're just talking, aren't we? Like,
start to end, it was. And obviously, Drew got in his bit about complaining. His bit about 4 years ago. I was screwed over. It's like, yeah, dude, yeah, we get it. Like, But
I think he also makes a reference, doesn't he? Because LA Knight comes out with the stick and he's like, "Oh, you're here with the jokes," and he's like, "Who's joking? I ain't joking."
Yeah,
like, you know. And then
there you go again with the jokes.
I liked it. Yeah, I liked that they had a back and forth in a backstage segment. So
yeah,
Drew says his bit. Knight interrupts. Drew then retorts. He's like, "Listen, you're a loser. Like, you don't win anything. You've no right to be here."
I like that when he goes LA Knight and everyone goes yeah, and he just goes yeah, and he goes, "No, I like it." He went, "I think you're doing really good stuff." He says something along those lines of,
it's the bravado, isn't it? Like, the bravado, the character, like. But when they lose interest because you don't win anything.
It was like respect meets respect. It was like, and that's what Drew was like. He was like, "No, I like what you're doing. It's good, but you always come out with your little jokes and your little jibes." And he goes, "Who's joking? I'm not joking."
Yeah.
And he was just dead face, and he was like, "Yes, go on, LA Knight.
Yeah.
Go on, Sean."
But this is it, like,
It's like quick side note. Becca, my partner, ruined that for me forever because I didn't want to know anything about LA Knight. I'm one of those people that when I read something, I need to know everything about it, and I will literally just go into detail about loads of things. But wrestling's my Coronation Street, as it is yours, Kieran.
Yeah.
It's just your little bit of your trash that you love on the side. It's stupid, but it's our stupid. It's like we're allowed that. We're at least allowed one thing. And then she was like, "Oh, you know his real name's Sean, right?" I was like, "What the?" I was like, "Why? Why tell me that? I don't need to know that. Oh, is it even spelled correctly?" And she was like, "No, it's spelled the stupid way." And I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Becca!"
SEAN. Yeah.
Steam Bean. I was honestly, I was so we had a falling out. We literally it was a divergence in this household for a while, for a good week.
Well, cheers, LA Knight. You're wrecking houses as well as wrecking the wrestling ring. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
yeah. Oh dear. But yeah, Drew kind of says that about like you know they're behind you, they'll support you, but when you keep remaining titleless because you don't win anything, then they'll lose interest in you. But then Knight then retorts by saying like, listen, like, don't come at me. Like, you haven't won the last time you won the big one and won a title, I wasn't even here. He's like, so since I've been here, you ain't won anything. He's like, you've lost all the time. Like, don't come at me with a losing streak when you're just in the same boat.
I did like Drew's proper British parlance of look at my resume, it's stacked.
Yeah. Like selling us the dream. But I thought it was a really nice little segment that, like I said, for it being a backstage interview to then come into a little back and forth, and it was good quality, even though it was probably a minute half all in all for that little segment.
It's about 2 minutes. Them two being with each other. I think the whole segment was about 4 minutes, but obviously he was being. Oh my God! Have you seen the size difference between him and who was the girl? Who was the woman interviewing him?
Yeah, Kayla Braxton, I think it was.
Kayla Braxton, yeah. Good Lord! Like, she was half the size of him, and literally it was on him, and it had to zoom out and then pan down.
Yeah, it's actually just kind of going like just to kind of get them in. But yeah, lovely little segment. I really enjoyed that, and two guys thrown in there who are favourites, I think, by both of us. So it's always going to be a success.
Oh yeah.
I also thought it then panned to this, and I thought this was interesting. Obviously, we've covered the main event now, so we know what happened. But I kind of jotted this down as a bit of a ooh kind of moment. So it's the Bloodline entering the arena, and obviously Heyman's out, Roman gets out, and you've got Jimmy and Solo that are already there. And Roman then goes over to Jimmy, and he embraces him, goes to give him a hug, and you can see Jimmy's face being a bit like, like. He's a bit apprehensive. Yeah. He's a bit like, what's going on here? I don't like this. And Roman's like, no, come on in. Like, we're all smiles. Everything's great here. And he kind of gives him a little hug, kind of gives a little pat on the back, and he goes, come on, Jimmy, let's go fix everything that Jimmy messed up. Let's go fix everything that Jay messed up. And I was like, ooh, interesting. Because I was like, he's kind of right. But actually, no, it's all from what you did to then mess it up. But it's that mindset of the tribal chief, that character of it's like, everything's great, like, and it then kind of, for me, gave that little tease for the Jimmy J at WrestleMania. And I was a bit like,
it's not happening.
It's a tease for it, though. It's definitely a tease for it. They had no reason to mention that.
What you're referring to is the infallible. Basically, he sees himself as a god, and gods are infallible. They cannot be, whatever they say goes. It cannot be gone against. And that's the whole point of Roman Reigns. He is infallible. In his own head, he is infallible. If I say something and it doesn't happen, it's like, what the fuck? It's like, how's that just happened? But I said that it couldn't, and it did. It's like that's when he gets his. That's when you get the best promos out of Roman Reigns. Yeah. Like when Jay went against him, it was like, you messed up on main event, Jey Uso. Guess what? You are the Bloodline. I'm out too. And it was like, yes! And it's literally Roman's face before he gets super kicked was just, they're the best moments you get out of someone like that because he plays it. I'm not a fan of Roman Reigns, but he plays that character phenomenally. Like he does. Like,
I love it. I think it's the perfect character. I think he does it amazingly. I think I know we've said it before, like the facial expressions that he does, and he's a living meme. I see so many memes now, and I just send them on to you now, so you can really appreciate how much of the stuff that he says just gets banged into just a meme, a TikTok, all that shit. It's brilliant.
About 4 or 5 days ago, you're just saying the man is a living meme. And he was looking around going, and it was like 3 memes in a row of like two gifs and then like a meme, and I was like, no, yeah, fair enough. I laughed at every single one of them. So I was like, he's doing something, he's making me laugh. He's doing something right.
Oh, it is. It's incredible. So much time for that character. But yeah, I just thought, I hope it's not, but it was just that they didn't need to do that. They didn't need to add that. He could have just got out, hugged Jimmy, and walked. But they didn't. He threw in that line, and I think there's a purpose for that, which is now, it's making me more aware of this Jimmy J thing now.
No,
so that's something.
No.
Right? You can know it all you want, but that's what they're doing. Not the match, but they're gonna tease it. They might do the match, but they are inklings and little Easter eggs that they're gonna give you. That's where they're going with it.
They can tease it all they want, but it's not. The more you say it, and the more it comes into fact, and I don't want that. Just ignore it. It's not happening at WrestleMania. It'd be a waste of time, WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree, but I can't deny what's in front of me.
Stop it. You agree with me? Just agree. Stop being a prick.
Okay, I completely agree.
You're a liar.
So we had that. We then went into the women's qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber, which was between Zelina Vega and Tiffany Stratton.
I love this.
I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. Like, I enjoyed it.
Biggest fan.
Pardon?
Tiffany Stratton's biggest fan.
I mean, come on now. You don't. Yeah, all right, I am. I love her. She's brilliant. She's fantastic. I think she's going to be so good. Like, I really, really do. I just watch the match and I'm like, she could go. She's got that classic heel character that I like. And I've got a lot of time. I think she's brilliant.
It's the cross between the Divas era. Tiffany Stratton is like a mixture of the WWF, like Trish Stratus, mixed with the Divas, mixed with the talent of today.
Mm-hmm.
So she's literally like 3 different generations in what it's 3 different aspects of the women's champion, like what the women's division is now becoming.
Yeah, it's 3 different eras, innit? Eras the one you're looking for, innit? Just literally bit of this, bit of this, bit of this. There you go.
She's still got the sassiness of everything of like the original back in the day WWF Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the Divas, obviously, personality, Daddy's Wallet and all that, and I enjoy that. And then she's actually got the talent to back it up of all the talented, because you've got so many talented women in the women's division now. Like they're all talented. They all come from NXT. They all come from somewhere. They're all like, I think she's got gymnastics. Wasn't she?
Yeah, she was involved. I'm sure it was like gymnastics or like the Olympics or something along those lines. I'm not exactly sure of what it is, but it is something in that bracket.
But so not to set aside, I know you're a bit bored with the whole LWO and Legado del Fantasma, but I am as well, to be honest. I love Carlito, but other than that, I'm bored. But I love Zelina Vega. I really like her. There's something about her.
I think she's very undervalued. I definitely think that. I think she can offer a hell of a lot more than what she gets given credit for. I think look back to that, what was it, Backlash in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, with Bad Bunny, yeah.
With Bad Bunny there as well. I can't remember if it was Backlash. I might be wrong, but either way, it was that she was brilliant.
Yeah,
the fans all behind her.
Oh,
she can go. She can
Puerto Rico. She had the Puerto Rico flag on a thingy.
Yeah.
She can go, and she proper can go. I didn't know coming into this match. I didn't know what it was going to be. I really didn't, because I thought they both deserved to be. It'd be awesome. I was like, it'd be not an upset, but it'd be really cool and it'd be making waves if Tiffany Stratton got into the Elimination Chamber. Because she could do some really good stuff. She could make a name for herself. And obviously she's just joined from NXT like 2 months ago. So it's like it'd be mint, but I'd love to see Selena in there. And as soon as I saw Legado del Fantasma behind the announcers table, I was like, oh, it's Tiffany.
Yeah.
All day long.
It was nice because it was something a bit different, but I completely agree. I mean, the only part I disagree was I thought there was no way Tiffany Stratton wasn't going to go to Elimination Chamber. I thought she was always winning that match. You can't bring someone up from NXT. You can't put them over and then be like, right, guys, here's this new style that we're bringing up. Oh, they lose. And just you'd bury them a week of signing them on. I was like, there's no way on God's green earth Stratton is losing that match.
Brutus Brothers.
At least they got a title match out of it. They got high enough to get a title match. Shit, she wouldn't even be able. She'd lose a qualifying match to then have to qualify again to get a title match.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I was like, there's no way they're not going to let her win. So I was like, they think very poorly of Zelina Vega, and that's where I do agree that I think she's very underutilized. I think she can offer a hell of a lot more than what she's dubbed as. She's a stepping stone, which I think is a shame. But like you said, as soon as Legado were there, you knew what was happening.
It's really upsetting as well, especially because she cleans all the offices and she does all the work.
Do you know what, right? I can always tell when you're about to make a joke because I can tell it I can see it in your face. I can see your approach. Like the minute that you started that, I was like, he's going to make some very inappropriate reference here.
That was a good joke, I enjoyed that.
A joke, guys. A joke. That's what it was. It's supposed to be funny. So let's not get no fucking sensitive people around here crying about it. It was a joke. It was funny. End of.
Mexicans are people too. You heard it here first.
Hey, my name is Jeff.
My name is James.
We're not even.
A quick reference to the 22 Jump Street when Channing Tatum's pretending to be a Hispanic, and he goes, "My name is Jeff." And one of our friends, we were all talking about it one day at the pub. This is years ago. And one of our friends, Michael, big shout, Big Mike, because he created the
he created the logo, the Faz Wrestling emblem that we've got on the channel and the banner. So
big shout for Big Mike. We're all talking about it once. So it's like, Michael, you've seen it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that bit. My name's James." It's like, no.
And we're just like, that's not how it goes. And he was adamant when he was like, yeah, it is. Of course it is. But like, no. He went, all right, my name is James. No, it's not that either. You're very wrong here, son.
That was just to give a bit of background of
why that was hilarious.
Us losing our shit over a very simple thing.
Oh, 100%. But yeah, it was a good match. Again, I thought both looked strong. I thought both had really good offense in this match.
Oh, like, what do you think about the 619 to the shins? I really like that. Do you know what? She was on the middle rope and she just 619'd her off the rope.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, lots of little spots that were really, really good. She did an Alabama Slammer, and I just wrote on here, God, I fucking love an Alabama Slammer. I don't know why. I love it.
That's why.
Pardon?
You love to say it. That's why. That's the only reason.
It could be that too. But I love the concept. Like, I think Drew McIntyre does a really good Alabama because he walks around as him dangling behind his back. And I just think it looks such an impactful move. Like, I just think it works. Like, if you've got someone from your back just going, bam, slamming him on the floor, that's going to fucking hurt. And with the right people, it looks really, really good. And yet it's such a basic move. There's not a lot of thought process into it. But I love it. I will always love an Alabama Slammer where I just watch it and I'm just like, yep, love that.
Before we move on, I will say the world's prettiest moonsault is such a good move. Like, it's done so. I mean, obviously you've got her, you've got you've got Io Sky. You've got a few in the women's division who all do the moonsault, which was all started by Lita. Even though she did break Matt Hardy's heart. Different story, different time. Slag. But you've got hers. It's just because it's a moonsault, but it's so inventive. It's like 1 rope, 2 rope, 3 rope, boom. It's just really cool to watch.
It's the no-handed jump, isn't it, from second to top rope? I love. There's nothing. It's nothing much more, but it makes it so much more effective. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think you said. I think it is maybe Io, who she really goes up and then she like crouches, perches herself on it, and then focuses, then gets up, then does it. Stratton, it's like no. She has the hands on the ropes, kind of does like the 2 jumps, and then on that second to top one, no hands, boing boing moonsault, and it is a picture perfect moonsault as well.
And makes it even better is that it's yet to be, touch wood, it's yet to be botched. Like she's not fucked it up yet. So every single time it's perfection. So it's like it's like you're watching it, you're like, oh, this is gonna be mint because you know she's gonna nail it.
Yeah, 100%. It was almost essentially like Evan Bourne with his airborne. His airborne, he had it to a T. Do you know what I mean? And it was, I can't think of many times he botched that, if ever. Yet it was such a dangerous move.
Yeah, but it's shooting star press, isn't it? It's like when you saw Brock Lesnar try and do it on Kurt Angle, and he nearly broke his fucking neck.
100%. But this match concluded because Zelina Vega ended up. Well, they started fighting outside of the ring. They were near the announce table. You had Legado there. You had the woman whose name is something Lopez that I can't remember, who's just joined them. She was talking smack to Zelina. Zelina then.
That was the weirdest thing.
Out of the crowd and then went, get back in there, you little rascal. Why I order? It was bizarre. Like she didn't assault her, just kind of went, come here, and then went, no, actually go back there.
It's like she pulled her out and she landed on her ass, and then when she threw her back in, she landed on her feet and carried on going over the fence.
Yeah, it was so weird. And obviously, the minute that happens, you know where that's going. That was your distraction. And then Zelina gets back in the ring, and I can't remember exactly what Tiff did. I know she finished it with the prettiest moonsault ever. But yeah, she hits that move. She gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. She's going to Elimination Chamber. And speaking of stacked cards, that women's Elimination Chamber also looks incredibly stacked. Because I think from memory, we've now got Naomi, Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and Tiffany Stratton, which I think looks superb.
We need to address the 6th because I don't know where you're going from here, but I just need to talk about Naomi's hair. And I need to.
Yeah. If you give us 10 minutes, because that's literally going to be the final thing we'll talk about. So we'll hit all things Naomi there. Maybe no, that doesn't sound great. But yeah. I said it and I was like, no, maybe that's not the right way to put it. Yeah, we then had a little backstage segment of AJ Styles and the OC don't get on anymore. Since AJ's returned, it was like Anderson's like, hey, are you ghosting us? Go to another team. And everyone's like, and then I loved more that you just had me cheering in the background like, yeesh, this is Knox, isn't it? Like, she's like, guys. And it was just, and then it just, let it go, Carl. Let it go. It's gone. It's gone. And that's it. That's your segment. So
it felt very rushed. It was like they had like a 2-minute thing, and then someone came behind, like someone with an earpiece came behind and like, guys, you've been cut to 30 seconds, so you're gonna have to. So it's like so AJ's there, huddled in his little bit, and they come over, and he literally goes from 1 to 100 within seconds, and it's like, what just happened?
Yeah, and it was like, that's that segment done. It was weird. But it's more weird because they've already been telling us that story anyway, that AJ's on his own. Like, if that wasn't in the show, in the segment, they didn't mention that, everyone would still be like, yeah, AJ and OC aren't really on the same page. They didn't need to put that there. And because it's so, like you said, so rushed, so forced, it was just like...
Do you know, I'm going to do a quick Google, on-air Google, if you don't mind. Is Carl Anderson any relation of Arn Anderson?
No idea. Not off the top of my head.
Because obviously Arn Anderson was a big deal
in
WWE. Oh, okay. Allegra was soon repackaged as the Machine Gun Carl Anderson, a distant relative of Arn Anderson's kayfabe wrestling family. So kayfabe, so not really,
kind of there.
but kind of.
Yeah, we'll
not really, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had that scrunched into 30 seconds. We then had a nice little promo with Damage Control. EO Sky took the lead on that, obviously talking in a native tongue, and it was having the subtitles on there. Long story short, basically saying that, Bailey, you're not going to win. It's my time. We're taking over. Kairi Sane then pops in and kind of just says, Dakota, you turn your back on us. We ain't forgot about that, so keep one eye open because we're coming for you.
Oh,
nice
Christ.
Promo. To the point. That's what we wanted.
Better leave the shrimp off the barbie. What I liked about this was I had a thought as I was watching it. I was like, how awesome would it be? Like, obviously, they're in that room. And if you just heard talking in the background and the camera turned and it was Shinsuke doing his. And they've literally got a Japanese room just where you can cut all the Japanese promos.
Fucking yeah. So you've got like your prayer rooms and stuff like that. We've just got the Japanese room. That's where you can be Japanese.
Honestly, I thought that was in my mind. I was like, that'd make a really good skit. Like that'd be really good because we're coming for you. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, it just pans to Shinsuke, who's doing his little
panning around and then seeing a load of wrestlers from New Japan cutting promos.
Yeah.
And you feel like
Akira Tozawa's still just doing his little shuffle thing with his headband on. Fucking fantastic. We then got to, I've not got a lot to say on this. We then had the boring Karrion Kross stable, AOP versus NXT randoms. For the respect of the podcast, I wrote their names down of Javier Bernal and Bo Morris. And I looked at this and I went,
how unsuited are Bo Morris and the other guy as tag teams?
Not only that, right? I thought you were going to go somewhere else with this. I was like, their names are the weirdest names because you've got like a weird name and then a really standard name. Like Bo Morris.
Very
it's like
French.
Bo's like, oh, look at me. My name is Bo. What's second name? My name's Morris. I'm just working down farm today, and then I'll be back after. All right.
Bo is very French. It's a French name. It also used a lot in American like Louisiana because that's where the French went. That's where they occupied years ago. I'm giving you a bit of history here, Kieran. Okay. Listen up. And then what's the other guy called?
Javier Bernal.
And what am I supposed to do with that? Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? He sounds a bit Spanish. I'll give him that. Like, hey, it's me, Javier Bernal. You want paella? But yeah, it was standard shit. It was just, I mean, I saw this, and whenever you see two blokes who they say we've got local talent or are from NXT, and you don't know them, you're like, well, it's just a squash match. I was like, I thought we were past this era where you just have people come in and do squashes. I will forever hate a squash match.
Why on earth do they come out in, like, I understand Shield's tactical gear. I get that. But they came out with vests that had loops for bullet shells in them. And it was all empty. It's like, if you're going to wear something that the army wear, at least stack it with props. Like, it was empty.
Well, I reckon I could probably hazard a guess as to why that was the case.
Racist!
It's a PG show. Could you imagine just strapping AKs walking to the ring like, you lost? No, we didn't.
And they were led out by, again, Karrion Kross was in the background with Scarlett, and in between them was the daddy of all Nazis.
One white glove that he's got on.
As I like to call him, Nazi Daddy.
Nazi Daddy.
What they call the OAP?
So they're AOP. As a pairing, they're AOP.
Not OAP, not old age pensioners. I thought it was OAP.
Coming out in Zimmer frames. Are we going to do some of that wrestling there?
It was just boring. It was just like literally like, here's a bunch of Fourth Reich Nazis attacking these two new young bloods.
Literally, like
what's the need?
I'll be honest, I'm mightily impressed that we've managed to at least talk 2 minutes about this because I had nothing. I just did not care. I hate squash matches. Like, I don't like them. I will never cheer for a squash match.
There's no point to them.
You've got two guys against two randoms, and it's like, oh yeah, we're showing our moves, we're doing this, we're doing that. It's like, nah. Like, but AOP haven't wrestled in over a year, so they are rusty. But what is a 30-second match gonna fucking do?
If you want to, no, but they have wrestled though, because they would have been on dark matches. But if you want to get someone over, have they not?
They've literally just been on TV for about a year straight. Everyone thought they'd been let go. Everyone thought they'd been sacked, fired. That's what I mean.
If you want to get some people over, give them a promo spot, and let's see what they can do with that. Give them a backstage promo. Just let's see what they can do. And if they can't do it, they're not going to grow into it. It's something you can either do or you can't do.
Yeah.
Why push? Why? It's the Vince McMahon era. That it's the Vince McMahon side of just like, this is what you like you said last week. This is what you like. I'm telling you what you need to like them. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, there's no point.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I totally agree. Where it is that, and it's like, even if they try and do the promo side of it, they can't do a promo. Give them a good match. Give them some good in-ring workers to work with. Let them showcase what they are strong at. If promos ain't for them, let them just do what they do. Let them go against a New Day and have a good, solid match against them and win. Like,
those two versus the Brutus brothers is a match made in heaven. If they can actually wrestle, one's a fucking former kickboxer, isn't he?
Who out of the Creeds?
Old age pensioners? No, the old age pensioners. One of them is an ex kickboxer.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know.
Yes. Start having heavyweight tag bouts.
Having some tag bouts.
Why pick up on my mank there?
Bouts. Sorry. Just let them have, heavyweight tag matches, something like that. Have tag bouts. Sorry, it really tickled me that.
Yeah, so now apparently I'm Michael Bisping. Great, thanks.
Great. Don't know who that is either. But
mate, watch UFC for once in your life.
Yeah, okay. No, I don't do that. I don't do real sports.
Not real fights. Oh, people are gonna get hurt. No, thank you.
Prick. So we then went to Miz against Logan Paul to fill that final spot for the Elimination Chamber. Good start. It was a good start, good match. All in all, I thoroughly enjoyed this.
They need to drop the whole brass knuckle thing. It's gone on too long now. It's boring.
Yeah.
Oh, friend. Do you know what his friend's name is?
Jeff.
His name is Jeff. His name's James.
Honestly, all I can do is go, my name is James.
His name's James.
His name's James. Oh, fucking hell. But yeah. Yeah, it was good move. Good move, good match. I really enjoyed Logan Paul's move. This is where it came from, where he does the splits and while stood up and he just lands on someone while doing the splits. And I'm like, do you know what? I have never seen that before. And it's dumb, but I like it. And it's his little pose that he does doing the splits on top for the pin. Love it. Love that.
And then do you know what happened afterwards? Literally the match afterwards. Naomi did it.
Yeah. And it was just like, wow.
We've seen it now.
We've seen it twice.
We've seen it done by a dude, which is way more impressive because of what they got down there.
Oh, honestly.
But no, yeah, it was a good match. I liked Miz targeting. Did you think it was? So I like Miz targeting his injured knee. But did you think it was supposed to end that way? Do you know? So I liked Logan Paul stealing the Miz's skull crushing finale.
Yeah.
Did you think it was supposed to end with him doing it backwards?
I didn't think so. The commentators put that over, but I really liked it. Like just again to summarize that, like the near fall when Logan did do the skull crushing finale, was very clever, where he grabs the ring apron because I think he was going for the figure four, and he's doing doing that. And as the ref goes to put it back, just the little thumb to the eye, the poke to the eye, whatever it was, effective. Yeah. Then into the skull crushing finale, and that was a near fall because a lot of people, including myself, thought that was going to be the finish. Like I was sold by that. Yeah. I thought he's going to win it. Miz kicks out. I'm like, oh shit! All right, fair, good near fall.
Use his own move against him. That's done. It's done.
Yeah, and that's it. And then just to summarize the match after that, like you said, you mentioned about the brass knuckles because James passed them on to him. Yeah, so he went to use it. Got caught. Miz then kind of put them on, and then the camera just peers. The refs are like, "You better not put those on." And Miz is like, "Okay," and then launches them. So you then had that, and he then rolls Logan into the ring, and then does he go towards his mates or something like that? And that was the delay for him to then come back in the ring, and then Logan hits him with the right hook.
Yeah, it was. I think he just got in, and I think he got hit with the right hook.
Yeah, he hit him with a haymaker. I didn't know if there was something that went on in the delay. You know, for Logan to get in, to get set, to then do it. Might have been Miz just taking a while. But yeah, hits that haymaker. And I thought it was really good because he hits him, Miz sells it, and he just catches him, and he's like, I'm going to Elimination Chamber, baby! And then puts him down, pins 1, 2, 3. I just thought, I liked it because it was essentially him just like, yeah, I've knocked him out. And Miz sold the knockout of him having him. And then just a little peer around, I'm going to Elimination Chamber, baby! And then chuck him down and pin him. And then, again, I think it might have been Barrett who was like, yeah, I think he just hit a reverse skull-crushing finale. It's like, no, I don't think he did.
I think he caught him wrong. I think Miz was, because Miz is just in. I'll always give you credence for this because I hated him back in the day, but Miz gets people over and he does it so fucking well. Like he's so good at his job. WWE will not let him go for the next 20 years. They really won't.
No, like he'll be involved in some capacity, won't he?
It always. Even if he's like an ambassador of the brand or something like that, he will always be there, and he's got a job security for life because of how many times he's been given a lot as well, but he's like he says he's worked for it, but it's like he's given a lot, but it's because he's one of the only people who, when they go right, we want to take this away, he goes, all right, yeah, how are we gonna do it?
Yeah,
and it's like, all right, fair enough then. You're willing to take your losses. That's cool as fuck. Mm-hmm. Which is why they'll always include him and stuff, because he's a yes man.
Yeah, 100%.
He's a really good yes man as well. But he sold it. That was supposed to be a normal school. That was definitely supposed to be a second normal skull crushing finale. Because there was that move. It's just someone, you might as well scissor leg someone and push them on the back.
Mm. Yeah.
Like they're not hitting the head. They're not hitting the back. It was just, he landed on his back. And I was like, I literally was watching it. I was like, oh, is that the end?
Yeah, it does. I mean, that's interesting that we've looked at that and we've seen that as two completely different perspectives. Yeah, whereas you've kind of seen that as an additional move. Whereas I was like, oh no, he just knocked him out, and that he was just selling the knockout, having hold of him, putting him down, and that's it. He gets the win. Like,
I think I
liked it. I thought it worked. Probably might have got it wrong because he was. I did notice even during the match, there were little snippets where they were off sync. Like, I think Miz went for like a quick near fall, and Logan Paul must have spent, I know it doesn't sound a long time, but about 4 seconds shuffling into position to get covered for a pin. Like, the ref goes for a count, and Logan Paul's on his side. I'm like, what? Do you know what I mean? It just wasn't smooth. But then watching the match, and when they got rolling, it was like, I was like, Logan could go. Like, Logan is so good for this. Like, some of the moves he's coming out with and how he's doing it all and stuff. And I was just like, he's a natural. He's so good.
Well, you've got to think about it this way. I mean, all the wrestlers on the roster don't have the resources that he has.
Oh no, definitely not.
He can pay. I mean, he's obviously naturally athletic, and a lot of the stuff that he does, you can't teach. Like, no matter how many trainers you have in the world, you cannot do it. But that's why I love people like Ricochet, because they've done it themselves and they've learned it. He's born with it, like Logan Paul was born with it. But Logan Paul can spend millions and millions on perfecting it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Ricochet has got the WWE resources. Logan Paul does not train in WWE.
No,
He's got his own fucking camp. He's got his own place. He's got his own entourage. He's got everything.
Mm-hmm.
But again, not taking anything away from him, he's such a. If he decides to drop certain things in his life and become a full-time wrestler, he's proved that he can do it, and he would be on the main card 100% every time. He would, because he's not just the name draw. He's just that good.
Yeah. I don't think he'll ever do that, though. I really don't. I don't think he'll ever commit to it full time. I think this works perfectly for him because he's getting probably paid big bucks. And it means he ain't doing no nitty gritty stuff. He ain't doing lower card stuff that he doesn't want to do. Everything he does is a big deal. It's top thing because he can negotiate that way. He's in a position of power. So I think him taking a step back in other things and going there full time would almost be a step down for him because it'd mean that he's out of control of what his creative direction is, which I think appeals for him.
It's so good for WWE, though.
It would be good. I get it. I just don't. For the person that Logan Paul is, I can't see it. That's just me. But yeah, Logan Paul wins. That fills up our elimination chamber, which again looks stacked. That consists of now Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and LA Knight, which I think it looks good.
That's only 5.
That was 6, wasn't it?
LA Knight, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre,
Randy Orton,
Logan Paul. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. I can't count.
I was like, because I'd actually been counting off camera. I had my fingers up, but I just had them over here, so that I was keeping track of it. Oh, I'm like, pretty sure that's right. Pretty sure I got that right.
Either Pete's drunk or I'm brain damaged, so I'm hoping Pete's drunk.
But we then had a little segment backstage where you had Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair, because Liv Morgan and Bianca, they cut to this during the Zelina Vega Tiffany Stratton match, where in like the skies they had Nick Aldis with Bron Breakker and Jade Cargill, and they had Bianca and Liv that were sat behind. So Bianca and Liv were sat there, they're kind of having a chat. Tiff walks in and she's like, "Oh guys, I don't know if I'm going to be able, what I'm going to do in this Elimination Chamber match. I need some help." And they're like, "Oh," and she's like, "Yeah, I need help. Whether I'm going to pin you first or then I'm going to pin you first." And it was like, "Yep, there she is. Love it. Just that brash, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to win." Love that. They have a bit of a squabble. Jay Cargill just waltzes over because they're also stood there with Aldis with 2 SmackDown contracts in front of them. And then she walks, she's like, no, we're talking business. That ain't happening here. Not on my watch, blah, blah, blah. Nick Aldis is like, not the place, not the time, Tiff. And she's like, all right, whatever. Toodles! And then just went off. Really enjoyed just a little Toodles drop in there because I hadn't heard that for a while. And then they left.
Just a really quick one. Jade Cargill's a unit.
Yeah.
She's going to be hopefully she's going to be the future of that, because she can go, man.
Yeah.
She can proper go.
Yeah, she will. She will be main event stuff. Guaranteed. Once they've tightened up everything and sorted everything out, the little kinks or whatever. Oh, she's gonna be good. Like, yeah. But because it then relates to that he was Aldis speaking to the pair of them, and then they walked out. Interestingly, Bron Breakker took his contract with him, whereas Cargill kind of flimsied with it and then walked out. I noticed that. I thought, that's interesting. And then we might as well skip to that bit as well. Aldis was then stood on the ramp. He announces that Bron Breakker is on SmackDown. Fantastic. I've got a lot of time for that. I think that's really, really good for him. I think that will help his development.
What feud do you think he's going to be in really quickly?
Ooh, that's where it'll be tricky. I'm not sure feud-wise. They said he's going to debut next week, but I think he will just have the odd matches here and there. In terms of the future planning, I know there's potential shouts of him going straight for Gunther, but that really can't go if he's going SmackDown. Because, I mean, it could, but I find that highly unlikely that he'll go for Gunther with them being on opposite brands.
Yeah, they're not going to have the feud, are they? They're not going to have the week in, week out. Jay, stop jinxing this. Jay's getting the IC. Stop jinxing
it. Right. I'm not jinxing it. I'm saying what I've heard. Where is... I don't know where Bron Breakker's going to go. Because it's almost like they've kind of, with what's happened with Brock Lesnar, they're kind of putting Bron into his shoes. But go on, let's hear it.
So, KO takes the title off Logan Paul. Logan Paul can then disappear for a while doing what he does, his other commitments, like you've said. And then, boom, Bron Breakker KO.
It's something I would love to see. There's no denying that. I think I'd like to see him and Solo Sikoa go at it as well. But
that'd be good. That would be good.
With Solo's pedigree of, his wins and losses and stuff like that, I don't think that'd be a good idea for Bron Breakker. Because Bron needs to win to start off with. Yeah. He needs to pick up W's.
Well, so, excuse me, Solo can afford to take a loss at this point.
Yeah. Considering that he squashed Cena and has done nothing since. He might not even have wrestled since then. I
don't think no, he's not. He's not.
Yeah, bizarre. But it also showed that next week on SmackDown we're gonna have LA Knight and Drew McIntyre, and I put, what a fucking week for Drew McIntyre, eh? He's got Cody Rhodes on fucking Monday Night Raw, LA Knight on Friday, and then just an Elimination Chamber to defend in on Saturday. I was like, I think he's going to win. So I'm like, what a week it's going to be for him.
Right, quickly, before we do the Elimination Chamber shouts, the last match, because in fact, we don't even need to talk about the match. Naomi's going to the Elimination Chamber. Who was she against, Kieran? I'm just ruining your bit now.
Alba Fire.
She was against Alba Fire. She dominated her, basically. Alba Fire got a couple of shots back with the help of Isla Dawn. See what I mean? It's just fucking stupid at this point. Yeah. It was 2 whites on black, basically.
Wow, we're just not having that. That is absolutely not being allowed.
Well, write the time down.
Will do.
But there, a few seconds of silence. So Isla Dawn and Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
There you go.
It wasn't a great match. I was bored a bit.
I mean, it's fine because you've managed to talk more about that than I was going to. My notes literally consist of Naomi v Alba Fire - Naomi wins.
Let's talk about Naomi's hair. I love it.
I love it. I think it's fantastic.
How do you do that? It's so cool.
It is.
I want Pete literally down here.
And then you could do your Bianca Belair twirl with it as well.
I'd love that. It's honestly, I was looking at it, I was like, how have they done that? I wasn't even watching the wrestling. That's how you know it's a boring match, because I was
someone's hair.
I wasn't objectifying them. I wasn't looking going all there or anything like that. I wasn't thinking of Liv Morgan's miniskirt. I was literally watching them and I was going, that's a mint haircut. Like that is a sick trim. Like
No, it is. I'm happy Naomi's back. That's good. Like I said, I don't think the match was particularly bad. I just think it fell very unfortunately, because by that point, everybody knew that it was Rock and Roman and that whole segment coming. And it was like, we're not asked them anymore. We're ready for this main event. Like I looked, because I watched it back, and I looked at the time frame that was left. I was like, it's gonna be the Rock and Roman segment. And then it kind of like, ding, we've got the last match of the night, and I was like, like even me sat at home the day after was like, can't be doing. Never mind watching the full show. You know what I mean? It was poor timing, but somebody had to fill that spot. So I think that didn't really help it at all in terms of our motivation towards it and the fans' motivation towards it. Yeah. But Naomi won. She's in the Elimination Chamber. Fine, perfect. That's what we want. So no complaints there.
So our full women's roster Elimination Chamber is.
Dun 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 dun. So we now have Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and
oh no, I've only counted 5.
Lynch, Bianca, Stratton, Naomi. I'm getting less. My brain's Liv Morgan. So I've got 5. Have they done? They haven't. There's only 5 in. They haven't done the 6 yet. I think the 6 is on Monday. No.
Oh right, I thought they were doing two apiece on each show. That's why I thought it felt
Yeah,
right.
so did I. But I do think I think there's one more to go. Because I think the big rumours that everyone is saying is that last spot is going to be filled by Jade Cargill. That's the rumours that people are coming out with. Oh, 100% that spot's not been filled because they've got a last chance battle royal happening, haven't they?
Oh, yeah, of course they have.
And that's what they think. They think that Cargill is going to enter into that and she's going to get that last spot and everyone's going to be like, oh, shit. And that's the big name they're going to throw in, which is why they've been putting her on telly a little bit, just
we are
keep you reminded.
So obviously we'll do this at the end of every show. I want to do this at the end of every single show of Raw and SmackDown up to a pay-per-view is predict week in, week out what we think is going to happen. So not with everything, but just with Elimination Chamber, the men's and the women's. What's your shout, or would you like me to go first so you don't seem, wrong?
Well, it's not. I'm assuming what I think the outcome is. I still think the outcome is Drew McIntyre is going to win the Chamber. I think he's going to be against Rollins at WrestleMania. For the women's side of it, I still think that Becky Lynch is going to win, and I still think that she's going to be facing Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Yeah,
I'm 100% with you on the women's. I've been having dreams. I've been plagued with nightmares recently, Kieran.
American nightmares?
No. Oh, okay. Yeah, but he's going to finish his story. Leave it alone. Stop it. Leave it alone. The Rock tried to dabble in that, and look what fucking happened to him. He got punched 20 years back in the past. No, I've been having fears recently that it's going to be LA Knight.
Yeah.
And do you know what I said last time about it'd be awesome to see Drew win it, beat Rollins. Rollins is losing at WrestleMania. I 100% think that.
Yeah.
But Drew winning and then Damian Priest coming down and then cashing in. It's like heel against heel. It's awesome. I've been having nightmares about what if it's LA Knight.
What, that he wins and goes against Rollins?
Beats Rollins.
Oh, and Priest cashes in on him. Oh. Oh, yeah. I'm here for it. I hate
my brain. I hate it so much.
Because that's what people thought might happen to Sami Zayn. But obviously Sami Zayn's not in it. So it's like, okay, that could be filled by LA Knight. Maybe. Possibly. It's a shout, and it would be. I wouldn't like it. No, I would like it, but
you would like it, wouldn't you?
I would like it. Don't get me wrong, because I want LA Knight to win it and be the champ. But in terms of a storyline and making me fucking pop, that's gonna make me pop. Like, yes, nice one. Fucking get in. Priest comes out. No. The Priest wins. I'm like, oh no, this is so good, but I hate it at the same time. Like that, that sort of mindset.
On the same page, what would also be mint would be if it's like the second or the second Money in the Bank cash in that doesn't go. Obviously, you had CM Punk with Alberto. Is that the only one that's failed, or
no? There's been more than that.
Is there?
Yes, Cena failed with a cash in. Mizdow failed with a cash in.
Oh, so there's been a few.
There's been a few now. It used to be it's guaranteed, and then they had a few years where people just failed spectacularly with it. So
I think the one that I remember was when CM Punk walked out of Chicago after kicking Alberto Del Rio in the head once Vince McMahon told him to go to the ring, and he kicked him in the head and he just walked through the crowd with the belt and he was like leaving, which was like the best one. But that'd put LA Knight so over.
Yeah, 100%. It'd have people rooting for him again.
But again, there's nowhere to go for judgment. It's a long-term plan, isn't it? It was just a little nightmare that I had. That's all.
No, it's all possibilities. But yeah, like I said, that wraps us up for SmackDown. I thought it's an all right show. I would probably give it
6.
Be more generous. I was thinking I'll go 6.5. I was thinking 6 or 7, so a 6.5 out of 10 for me.
I'd go 6. I said 3 for Raw. So yeah, it's definitely twice as good as Raw. So
yeah, I was going to say that it was a lot better than Raw was. There's a lot more to take from that. I mean, not forgetting that unbelievable promo to start off with. Like,
oh my God,
that
I'm gonna go watch it. I'm not even lying. I'm gonna go watch it again.
I don't blame you. I mean, I need to go to the gym really because I said I'd meet Shaw at the gym now, and I'm not there because I'm still podcasting. So I very much need to wrap up and fucking go. But yeah, it's been good chatting to you, man. Good to get this on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I will get this uploaded today, so it's good for us to get this done and dusted and out there with everybody else. Do you have any final thoughts, final words that you would like to share, my friend?
Pete's final thoughts.
Yeah, we love this segment.
Pete's final thoughts. The Rock's back. That's it. The Rock is back. Like,
yeah,
early 90s, late 90s. Our The Rock is back.
Yeah, and I completely agree with those final thoughts, my friend. I can't wait to see what he comes out with next.
He's not a sexual predator like Vince McMahon. So
yeah, that's also true. That was Pete's final thoughts, and this has been the SmackDown review on Faz Wrestling. If you have made it this far, thank you very much. If you could like, comment, share, and subscribe, that would be great just to help us. And also, The Rock watches ours, so you need to like it and subscribe too. You know,
you heard it here first, guys.
It's a fact. Fucking pistols in the air. But yes, we are now signing off, guys. Adios. Have a great weekend, and see you soon.
Take it easy.